Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're diving into something huge, maybe the biggest thing, our brain.
Right. This incredibly powerful tool we all have.
Exactly. But here's the puzzle, and it's one we really dug into with sources like Mastering the Mind for Practical Living.
Mm.
If it's so powerful, why are we often, well, kind of bad at using it for practical, everyday thinking?
That's the core paradox, isn't it?
Yeah. So our mission today is to pull out some surprising insights from the material, see if we can figure out why this happens, and maybe find some ways forward for you.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so Robert Greene, he described the brain as, let me get this right, the most miraculous, awe-inspiring information processing tool devised in the known universe.
Huge words. Makes it sound like we should be unstoppable.
Right, like we should just, I don't know, glide through life making perfect decisions effortlessly.
Yeah. But that's where the problem starts. We get this amazing piece of kit at birth, but absolutely zero instructions on how to actually operate it properly. And the research, it pretty strongly suggests we aren't the logical wizards we think we are. We're actually highly impractical beings.
Highly impractical. I like that. And it connects what Dan Ariely says, right, about how we feel like we're in the driver's seat.
Oh, totally. Complete control. That's the perception.
But he says that feeling is maybe more about what we want to believe than, the actual reality of how our minds work. It's sort of a comforting illusion.
It really is. And it's not just a hunch. The science backs this up completely. We're talking over a century of research finding, like more than 100 cognitive biases.
100, wow.
Yeah, these little glitches, these thinking errors that constantly push us off course. We make decisions based on gut feelings, emotions, maybe just the first thing we heard.
Like anchoring bias.
Exactly, like anchoring. Or confirmation bias, only looking for stuff that proves us right. It's not logical, but man, it's how we often operate. Deeply wired in.
So, okay, we know we're impractical. Science says so. What do we do about it? The author of Mastering the Mind seemed really frustrated by this.
Yeah, you can feel that frustration. They talk about reading all these books that were great at explaining why we think weirdly, lots of good stories. But almost none of them actually said, okay, here's how you can start thinking differently.
It's all the diagnosis, but no actual, practical prescription.
Precisely. Just describing the problem without offering a usable solution. So the author decided to write their own book.
A little book.
Yeah, a concise guide. The aim was pretty straightforward. Can you give the reader at least one idea, just one, that you can use to improve your thoughts? And hopefully that improves your life, your work, whatever.
And it's meant to be like an anchor, right? Something you keep coming back to.
Exactly. Not a one-and-done read. It mixes the theory, the stories, personal stuff too, but always pointing towards actual application.
But there's a catch. A pretty big one, actually.
Yeah.
The author lays it out, super bluntly.
Oh, yeah. No messing around there.
They basically say these kinds of books, this kind of change, it only works if you're genuinely open-minded. Full stop.
It's the price of admission, essentially.
And then they throw down this challenge. Use it or leave it. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
They even say if you're not ready to be open, you should just, burn it, ask for a refund, give it away.
It's pretty dramatic, but it makes a powerful point.
What is that point, really? Why so intense about open-mindedness?
Well, because it's fundamental. It's not just about passively hearing an idea. It's about being actively willing to question your own ways of thinking, the ones you've always relied on.
Confronting your own habits.
Right. Without that act of openness, even the best advice on practical thinking just bounces off. There's no room for it to land to actually be, used.
So, wrapping this part up then, we've got this incredible brain, truly miraculous potential.
Yeah, staggering potential.
But we're wired with these biases that make us surprisingly impractical a lot of the time.
Very predictable ways, too.
And the path to getting better, according to this source anyway, isn't just knowing about the biases. It starts with a really conscious choice.
A commitment, yeah, to being open-minded. Really open.
So let's leave you with this thought, building on that use it or leave it challenge.
Yeah, think about this. What would it genuinely mean for you personally to approach new ideas with that level of openness, especially ideas that maybe challenge how logical you think you are right now?
What old assumptions or beliefs about your own thinking might you actually need to, let go of?
To really make space for some new practical insights, to actually start mastering your mind, something to chew on.